My name is Ryan. I've had psoriasis for 22 years. Looking back, I think the biggest thing that I wish I knew was that some things are out of your control. I remember being in elementary school and I was being a class clown and I bumped my head on the table for a cheap laugh. Like a week later, I remember showering or doing something with my hair and I felt like a hard, scalpy patch on my head. And then when I got to the dermatologist, she diagnosed it as eczema because she said that it was very common for kids and gave us that standard treatment that you would. We were trying them, but it just never got better. My pediatrician referred us to a specialist and he identified it as plaque psoriasis.
Psoriasis is one of the more common autoimmune skin conditions, with about 1 to 4% of Americans being affected. The most common type of psoriasis is plaque-type psoriasis. So what is plaque-type psoriasis? Plaque-type psoriasis is just like it sounds. You get thick, very distinct plaques, and you can have them on the scalp, on the elbows, on the knees, lower back. Those are some of the most common areas.
I think I wish I knew the differences between psoriasis and eczema because I feel like they often get lumped in together into the same conversation.
So when it comes to eczema versus psoriasis, I could see why there's a lot of confusion. They can look very similar to the untrained eye, but they function completely differently. Oftentimes with psoriasis, those plaques are thicker, they're scalier, you're really shedding. We can see scalp involvement on the elbows, on the knees. Psoriasis, you can have some itch, but eczema is exquisitely itchy.
My psoriasis always took different iterations across my body. It started to actually spread underneath my fingernails and actually I have to do injections in between my skin and my nail bed. For the past 8 years, I've been using the at-home click shots or the in-office click pens. With the shots, I don't have any flare-ups with the exception of sometimes behind my ears and right on my hairline you can see a little bit here, but never on my body, never on my fingernails anymore. Psoriasis now is also past where it's just a skin thing. Now it's that I worry about psoriatic arthritis because I'm so physical with my job and my lifestyle. I do notice sometimes towards the end of my cycle where I would need another shot, I start to feel a little achier. Psoriasis inherently affected my dating life. It definitely affected my will to pursue girls in high school. And I would say even when I went on the shots and I was 22 and I didn't have psoriasis anymore, there was still probably a carryover.
Often what my patients struggle with are the psychological effects from psoriasis. Their flakes are shedding. They have to explain that to romantic partners. They have to explain it to their friends. And so that's why conversations like this are so important.
Training and fitness ended up being my saving grace. And at the time when I was younger, I was training for sport, but I didn't realize that it was actually giving me my confidence because I realized that I couldn't control psoriasis, but I could control the way that my body looked. And now between that and the shots, psoriasis no longer has any foothold in my life. I think what I wish I knew was that nobody really cares as much as you think that they care. We immediately think that once we step out into the world, that everyone's going to notice it too. The fact of the matter is that we're all dealing with the same things. We're all worried about ourselves and we're all worried about our jobs and our families and our kids and our friends. And looking back, that's definitely something I wish I knew.